UFC has touched down in Tinseltown, and some of the UFC's biggest stars are ready to shine under the bright lights of Hollywood. But before they make the walk to the octagon, it's scale tipping time. In the main event, former light heavyweight champion Mauricio Shogun will look to reclaim his status as one of the top 205-pounders in the world. Shogun is coming off a Fight of the Year performance against Dan Henderson. Will he have another stellar showing, or can Vera spring the upset? The truth will be discovered in just over 24 hours. This is the UFC Weigh-In Show on Fuel TV, and it starts right now.
And there's the former champ. Shogun is looking to get his belt back, and a win on Saturday night could move him one step closer. And there's his opponent, Vera. Can the truth hand out some consequences Saturday night? This Hollywood drama unfolds tomorrow night when the UFC is back on Fox for the third time this year. And with that, welcome inside the Staples Center in sunny Los Angeles, California. I am Karen Bryant alongside Sugar Rashad Evans. Now, Rashad, you headlined the Fox show back in January. We've got more light heavyweights taking the opportunity to have center stage on network television. How do you think Shogun and Brandon are feeling today?
Well, before every big fight, you always got the jitters, like, did I train enough? Did I do this enough? And pretty much the biggest opponent is yourself. But on a Fox card, it's different than a pay-per-view card because of the fact that when you get inside the dressing room, it's a little bit faster, and you got to be ready to go.
All right, well, Shogun is coming off of a Fight of the Year performance against Dan Henderson. Now, Rashad, last year you had an entire camp dedicated to Shogun before having to pull out with a knee injury. What makes him so dangerous?
Pretty much plain and simple, his tenacity. He's one of those guys that go forward, and he's best when he's going forward, and he can fight from any angle. He can go on the ground, he can do stand up, but his mindset, he has a fighter's mindset. Coming off the fight against Dan Henderson, he showed that I'm the old Shogun again, and I can come up and I can do my thing again.
A few years back, Vera was considered a future champion. He stumbled a little bit, but he's on his way back up the light heavyweight ladder. What made him so promising?
What made Brandon so promising was right between his shoulders. His beliefs, his head. He believed that he was the best fighter, not only in the heavyweight division, but in the light heavyweight division. Something along the way, it transformed the way he thinks, and he doesn't believe the same. But let's see if he can get that back tomorrow.
Well, I do believe it is time to bring in our third member, Ariel Helwani, who has more on the main event. Ariel?
Karen, if you're wondering what Shogun and Brandon Vera think of UFC President Dana White now saying that the winner of Saturday night's main event will have to look more impressive than the winner of Saturday night's co-main event in order to receive a title shot, the answer is not much. You know, Shogun has said all week long that he's never been thinking about the title shot. That's not what this fight is about for him. It's about getting back on track. Remember, he hasn't won a fight since August of last year. Now, as for Brandon Vera, he never expected to be in this position in the first place. This is all really gravy to him, but he said he wants to look impressive on Saturday night to prove to the world that he is, in fact, a top contender at 205. So while the rest of the MMA community may be talking about title shots all week long, the fighters fighting in the main event on Saturday night are saying all the right things. Karen?
Thank you very much, Ariel. They may be saying the right things, but Rashad, I have to believe mentally it's different when it's a title eliminator.
No, it is different, and sometimes it's different in a bad way. It puts too much pressure on you, it puts too much pressure on your mind. But here's the thing about it. You're in the UFC. You get a chance to fight in the UFC. Every single time you step out to compete, you're always fighting for a title shot. You're always fighting for the chance to be the one to get the next chance.
Well, while you are watching, feel free to tweet us your thoughts using the hashtag UFC on Fuel TV. You can also follow us at Fuel TV. When we come back on Fuel TV, the fighters hit the scale. Saturday night stakes have been raised. Shogun wants another crack at the title, but Brandon Vera is looking to flip the script and write his own Hollywood ending. Joe Rogan has the call from Staples when we come back.
Brother, I love board, man. Thank you. I saw this dude I'm driving out. Awesome, man. Thank you, dude.
Been good?
Yeah, how about you?
You saw me in India, I'd be doing better.
Yeah. Come on up, guys. Come on up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the UFC on Fox Weigh-Ins. Brittany Barber, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White, without him, none of this would be possible. Joe Silva, matchmaker extraordinaire. Lorenzo Fertitta, Bruce Buffer, the voice of the Octagon. And a bunch of people I don't know, along with Burt Watson, babysitter to the stars. Let's get things cracking. We got a banging card for you in the featherweight division. Our first bout comes to you. Ulysses Gomez versus John Moraga. First up on the scale, John Moraga. 125 and a half. And his opponent, Ulysses Useless Gomez.
$125 and a half.
125 and a half for Useless. John Moraga and Ulysses Gomez, ladies and gentlemen, first fight of the night, live on Fuel. Next up in the featherweight division, Manville, the Anvil Gambarian versus Michihiro Omigawa. $145 and a half for Mr. Omigawa. And his opponent fighting out of North Hollywood, California, Manville Gambarian. $145 and a half for the Anvil. Michihiro Omigawa and Manny Gambarian, ladies and gentlemen, let them know. Next up in the heavyweight division, Phil DeFries versus Ole Thompson. First up on the scale, Ole Thompson. 232. And his opponent, Phil DeFries. $235 for Mr. DeFries. Ole Thompson and Phil DeFries, ladies and gentlemen. Next up in the featherweight division, Josh Crispy versus Hani Yaya. First up on the scale, Hani Yaya. $145 and a half. And his opponent, Josh Crispy. action, ladies and gentlemen, Honey Yaya and Josh Crispy. The next bout is in the light heavyweight division. Phil Davis versus Wagner Prado. First up on the scale, Wagner Prado. 205. And his opponent, Mr. Wonderful, Phil Davis. $205.5 for Mr. Davis. Wagner Prado and Phil Davis, ladies and gentlemen. The next fight is in the featherweight division. Cole Miller versus Nam Fan. $145 for Mr. Pham. And his opponent, Cole Miller. $145 for Mr. Miller. Nam Fan and Cole Miller, ladies and gentlemen, live on Fuel. The next fight will be the first fight on the main card on Fox. In the welterweight division, Mike Swick versus DeMarcus Johnson. $171 for Mr. Johnson. And his opponent, Everybody please welcome back Mike Quick Swick. $170 for Mr. Swick. DeMarcus Johnson and Mike Swick, ladies and gentlemen, first fight on Fox. The next fight will take place in the lightweight division. Joe Lauzon versus Jamie Varner. First up on the scale, the former WEC lightweight champion, Jamie Varner. 156. And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, Joe Lauzon. $155.8 for Mr. Lauzon. That's a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Varner and Joe Lauzon. Next up in the light heavyweight division, the co-main event of the evening, Lyoto the Dragon Machida versus Ryan Bader. First up on the scale, winner of the Ultimate Fighter, Ryan Bader. 205 for Mr. Bader. And his opponent, the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Lyoto the Dragon Machida. $201 for Mr. Machida. The co-main event, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Bader and Lyoto Machida. And finally, the main event of the evening, also in the light heavyweight division, Mauricio Shogun versus Brandon, the Truth Vera. $203.8 for the truth. And his opponent, the former Prime Middleweight Grand Prix champion, the former UFC Light Heavyweight champion, Mauricio Shogun. Hooah! 205 for Shogun. The main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Vera and Mauricio Hua. That is our weigh-ins, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching live on Fuel TV, there's still plenty of coverage right here from the Staples Center. Let's send it over to Karen Bryant and Rashad Evans with more. Karen?